Hello everyone. I wanted to spend a little bit of time in this video just going over what's happening for the rest of this science fair project. So the final due date is April 26th, which is the Monday after we return from break. If you're on track, you can absolutely get this done before break starts, and then you won't have any work to do over break. So this week we are spending Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday completely on the science fair project, both during asynchronous time and synchronous time. When the projects are finished, I'll go through and grade them. That'll probably take about a week or so. And then the top projects that are the highest quality and get the best scores on this rubric will move on to the final round of our virtual science fair. And we'll watch those projects in class in early May. Okay, so what's happening this week? There are 5 things to do this week on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday during asynchronous time and class time. If you're working with a partner, you need to figure out who's doing what, or if you're working together on each part of this so that you can get this all sorted before break. So the first thing is to complete slides. Most of you are already done with all your slides and they look great. The next thing to do is to use the rubric below to check over your slides and edit them as needed. Some of you really won't need to edit too much. Some of you will need to spend a class or a class and a half editing your projects. I'll go over what that looks like in just a minute. After you're finished editing, you and, if you have a partner, you and your partner will write a presentation script. There's an example below on this document. The last thing you'll do is record your presentation video, and I'll go over how you can do that. And then you'll upload your video. All right, so complete slides, that one's self-explanatory. We have been working on that for a little while. So let's go over step 2, using the rubric checklist to check your slides and edit as needed. So I have some example slides here, and we'll go over these using the rubric just to see how I did on this. All right, so the rubric checklist has 5 sections: why it matters, thorough research, accurate research, organized presentation, and creativity. There is then an optional section, above and beyond. This would really put you over the top on this rubric. These are not required elements, but kind of ways that you can get either a little more credit or maybe make up for some parts that aren't as strong. Okay, so why it matters includes 2 parts. One slide includes your research question, and one slide describes why your research is important or relevant. These could both be on the same slide. That would be fine. All right, so let's see if I have that. I have my research question, so I can give myself a check there because that's a pretty easy check to get. I included my research question. The second part is one slide describes why your research is important or relevant. Why should we care about plant biology? That sounds like that slide is about that. Maybe I can make that more clear, saying why is this research important? Plants are everywhere in the world. Humans get all of our food from plants, and without plants we couldn't survive. So that's pretty good. I did describe why the research is important. I could do a little bit more there. I could definitely improve that still. So I would maybe highlight this part just to remind myself that I could add some more there to get a better score. All right, thorough research. Slides cite at least 3 sources, and slides answer my research question thoroughly. Let's take a quick look at some of my slides. All right, so I have sunlight and growth, soil and growth, water and growth. Those are the 3 research slides. Sunlight and growth. Plants need sunlight to grow. When plants don't get sunlight, they don't grow. This is not thorough. This is not up to the standard that we need for this science fair. This is something that probably a 2nd grader could write about sunlight and plants. And I expect you guys to be writing on 7th grade level and doing enough research to really make this a more thorough explanation. So why is sunlight important to plant growth? That's important to include there. So I'm going to again highlight this one. I did not explain myself thoroughly enough, so I will not get good credit on that. So I'll want to go back through and improve on that. Okay, let's see if I have at least 3 sources. Let's go down to my sources. I have 4 sources, so that one is all set. I'm good on that one. All right, accurate research. Slides include accurate information, and slides include information based in science. These are 2 pretty similar ideas. The point here is that we want it to actually be scientific research. We don't want it to just be like opinions about things. We really want this to be founded in science, and we also want to make sure that our information is accurate. So you're going to want to go back and double check through your slides, make sure everything you've included is accurate. All right, organized presentation. Each slide is neat and organized. So this includes like not including too much information. If I have slides that are just chock full of text, that's not really very organized because it's a little tough to look at. So each slide is neat and organized. Just skimming through my slides, they're pretty organized. This one I would say doesn't have enough text, but I don't have any slides that have like too much text. Those are all pretty nice looking slides. Okay, so that one's all set. The slides are in an order that makes sense. Again, you're going to want to start with a title, right? That's how we make things organized. A title and then probably your research question. And then it's up to you because these are going to look different depending on your project. But just make sure you're not jumping from, I don't know, like sharks up here to, I don't know, plants down on this slide, right? Like you want to have things in an order that makes sense. And you can leave me a comment in one of your slides if you're not really sure what order makes the most sense. And then just having some kind of a closing slide is usually nice. It's not required, but just something to close out your presentation is usually a good idea for organization. Okay, it looks like I'm all set on organized presentation. Let's go on to creativity. Slides include images and a creative design. Again, just skimming over my slides, I have a creative design. Like this is a pretty nice design template. And they kind of include images, but these images aren't actually helpful for the reader or the watcher to understand my information more. So I should go back and add some images that make this a little bit more easy to understand. So slides include images. I got to remember to do that. And then presenter makes the slide content interesting and engaging. That could be something that you include on your slides, like the design or the images might help with that. That could also be just the way that you write the script. Maybe you add some funny stuff in there, or maybe you add some fun facts, something to pull the reader or the watcher into your presentation. And I don't really have any of that stuff in here yet, so I should add something probably into my script is how I would do that. All right, and then let's go to the above and beyond just to see how you can maybe get some extra credit or just make your presentation a little bit stronger overall. Presentation is exceptionally good. So this again would be from going like above and beyond on any of these categories and doing them extremely well. Another option, and this could be in addition to just having exceptionally good slides, or you can add this on even if you don't get the first one, you can get the second one. Presenter gives the audience a way to improve the world with science. So some way to connect your research back to the world. So some people studying COVID, there's definitely some really relevant ways that you can just like give some tips on how we can apply your research to our lives, or maybe how politicians could apply it. The way that I did this here, and this is not really that great, honestly, like this isn't very detailed, so I should add some more here. But I said one thing you can do is plant a tree in your neighborhood. That again is like a pretty second grade addition, right? You're going to want to give a resource. If you're suggesting we go do this thing, maybe there's a specific resource that you can give where I can plant a tree in my neighborhood. One more specific one that I did was use the Ecosia search engine to fund tree planting efforts in rainforests. Now that's better because that's really specific, but I should probably include a link and or a little bit more of an explanation about how Ecosia does that. All right, so you can do something like that. Just make sure it's specific and something that somebody can actually go and do like right after they watch your presentation to make that really go above and beyond. Okay? All right, I'm going to pause this video there. I'll put some more resources in this assignment when you get started on today's classwork. All right, I'll see you in class.